Good morning, everyone. I thought I'd pop on really quick with about a 6-minute video just to help address some of the questions I'm getting regarding the APA formatting and preparing for your research paper. So what I'm going to do is actually use my screen to show you some of the things that I want to draw attention to when it comes to formatting. If APA is new to you, I encourage you to use the links that I provided, because they will help you determine, what goes where and how to create that header and, different aspects of referencing and citations and what gets capitalized and what gets italicized and that kind of thing. I highly recommend the NSCC site. There's a quick APA guide, I think it's about 15 pages, where you can look at how all of the references look on a page. They're unique to websites, books, journal articles, that kind of thing. And rather than try to memorize it or stress about it, the goal is really to imitate, make mine look like that. Pay attention to where are commas or periods or, again, italics, that kind of thing. So if you look at, this is just a template, a very, very basic looking document. APA is rather boring. The American Psychological Association sets a standard for this kind of academic writing, so it's not certainly something that I choose, but it is the academic standard across most post-secondary institutions. So you'll see that page 1 always has a header, and it says running head and a colon, followed by a shortened title of your paper. So if your title of the paper, you had 10 words, you'd shorten it down to about 3 to fit in the header. And then over at the far margin, the right margin, is the page number. And then all that's expected on that page is the title of the paper, your name, and NSCC. Some students will add the date, the course, my name. That's fine, as long as it's double-spaced, Times New Roman font, size 12. So that's the basic cover page. No color, no bold, no borders, no pictures. When you get to page 2 of the document, you'll notice running head is missing. When you set the header up, you set it to make a different first page, and that will allow just this portion on page 2 and the following pages after that. And then the title of the paper goes right at the top, and then you would start typing, right? So you would tab each new paragraph, 1 space, and start typing. All double-spaced, Times New Roman 12. When you finish typing your paper, you will eventually get to your references, and the references look like this. References is centered up at the top. You still have that same header. Everything is in alphabetical order. This is what's known as a hanging indent, which you can set up. Typically, the references are last name, comma, initials. If there's more than one author, comma, the ampersand sign, last name again, comma, initial, and then the date. If it's a book, it's the year. If it's a magazine or a newspaper, it would be magazine would be the month and year, and a newspaper would be the month, day, and year, right? Because that's when they're published, daily versus yearly or whatever. The title of the work is usually italicized, particularly for books, but you'll notice if you have a good APA source for magazines and journal articles, they're not. They are left regular font, and what gets italicized is the actual title of the newspaper or the magazine. So for example, if this was a newspaper article and not a textbook, Essentials of Business Communication would be regular font, it wouldn't be italicized, and then after the period it would say the Chronicle Herald. And the Chronicle Herald would be italicized because then we'd know the actual title of where the source came from, and within it, Essentials of Business Communication is the name of the article. So I hope some of that makes sense. For websites, it's typically the name of the website if there's one given, the date, and then if there's an article or a specific page within that website that you used and retrieved. You don't have to always have the date. If you just have retrieved from, I'd be happy. So retrieved from or retrieved on, retrieved in February, September, whatever. So I hope that gives you, a quick overview. If you've never seen APA before, APA takes a lot more than 6 minutes to teach. That is why I've provided the resources. And I think with a little bit of practice and a good a good source, especially the NSCC source that we have, which I'm going to show you how to get right now. If you go to NSCC and you search library, and you go to our library services, takes a minute to get to visit the website. There we go. And now you're just looking for APA, right? You come here and you're like, I need help with APA, and you search. You're going to get all kinds of hits, more hits than you need, but you can see that it's actually the American Psychological Association manual. I'm going to go back because I don't want all of those hits. I just want to get some subject guides. And under subject guides, I want APA Citation Style 6th edition. And I'm going to say go. And now these are the links that I shared with you on the announcement page. That's the actual manual. It's more than you would ever need. There's some videos and some basic information to just kind of help you get started. But this is the handout. This is the one I use more than I use any other source. If you click on that, it's 15 pages, and it tells you what a citation looks like, which I've said, your papers need to have a couple of citations per page to show where, you got the information, versus the references that come on the last page under references. So a lot of times you'll just see the name of the website and the year, or the last name of the author and the year. They show you throughout the entire document how you reference versus cite for everything from books to encyclopedias, brochures, journal articles, magazines and newspapers, which I just explained, and they show you clearly author, initials, ampersand sign, author, initials, year, month, day, or season of publication, title of the article. You'll notice only the beginning is capitalized, and then the title of the magazine or newspaper gets italicized. That's pretty much all I wanted to show you. I hope that will help a little bit. Your paper can be any topic. I've just posted on our announcements page that you can cover anything of interest to you. If you're writing a paper for another course, feel free to perhaps use that in this course. People have written about ethical and unethical companies and practices, or they have a favorite company that does some neat things they want to write about. Some people are really interested in social media and write papers about how leveraging social media can really build a business or damage a business if you don't build effective social media. Some people are really interested in environmental issues. So I'm not concerned about necessarily what the topic is. I'm more concerned about writing skills and formatting skills. But just send me that quick informal proposal so I know, my topic is water conservation or deforestation. It's an environmental issue. And my thesis, what specifically am I writing about? I want to write about how local companies are damaging forests through clear cutting, which is causing an impact on our climate change and causing an impact on our environment by damaging ecosystems. The topic is the big focus, and then the thesis is the narrower, like what are you going to write about exactly? Throw in a little bit about what you intend to write about. The timeline is just about, you're going to have your first draft ready by this date, revisions starting by this date, final draft ready by the due date. And please put at least 2 to 3 APA reference sources, the materials you intend to use for your research. And if they change, that's okay, because often we use different sources as we go deeper into the research. So I hope that helps for today. It's a lot of content. If you have questions, message me, book a time to talk with me, Skype. I'm wide open. And good luck with your writing. Talk soon.